General Medicaid warning. The views expressed in 5-ish minute lore, the lore delivered in rants, are sanctioned by their scholar progenium as excess rageous. Prolonged exposure can result in loss of IQ, high blood pressure, random outbursts, and blunt force trauma to the skull, resulting in unconsciousness. Please consult your local physician for more information.
General Ursarkar Creed. The man who may or may not have the ability to hide a fucking titan in plain sight. Have fun.
Ursarkar Creed. The man. The meme. The legend! Like most of the creatures that are born into our universe of the glorious Grimdark, his origin story and life are a horror story. Creed began his life as the son of a retired Cadian shock trooper who decided the city of Khazar Galan would be a great place to raise a family. A massive group of Chaos cultists decided the city would be a great place to raise some hell. Creed's parents died, his sister died, and Creed himself spent some quality time with his sister hiding under his bed from the cultist. His dead sister. Welcome to the Grimdark again! At some point, a figure in black power armor shrouded in pale robes, most likely a member of a Space Marine Legion that never had any traitors whatso-fucking-ever.
I've fallen, and I can't get up!
Take the hint.
Tampers, Israel, did you hear that? We're totally gonna find Cypher now!
Yeah, so anyhow, this Space Marine gave him an old las pistol and talked to him for a little while. After an unknown amount of time had passed, the Cadian 8th rolled into town and found Creed holding an old book about the patron saint of the Imperial Guard and the same said las pistol. Considering he was the lone survivor of the hellhole that had been his home, the 8th adopted him like some sort of regimental pet. And he was taken underneath the wing of Ursarkar, who molded him into a guardsman. Considering the career path of Cadians is either guardsman or fortress builder, you can guess that Creed was pretty much in the accelerated program for Cadia. As soon as he was old enough, he joined the Imperial Guard and almost instantaneously got placed into a formation called the White Shields, which was for the elite youth of the Cadian military. It was then that he was noted for being insanely good at leadership, and by insanely good, I mean by the Emperor's balls was he impressive. After fighting in the Drusite Crusade, he had become the captain of the Cadian shock troops, and his friend Jaren Kell was made his standard bearer. From that point on, even though he resembled a Minecraft avatar, he simply began to stomp the life out of anything that fought him, no matter what the odds were. And after forces he led murdered a Chaos Lord, he was promoted to Lord General. In fact, the only reason he wasn't promoted even higher faster was because for some stupid reason a fortress world like Cadia still in some way cared about who your daddy was. But after a clusterfuck of a battle called the Tyrock Fields, where most of the Cadian High Command got fucking murdered, he was given to the rank of Lord Castellan, basically because he had saved the Cadian forces from completely falling apart. He had that position for only 1 year before the 13th Black Crusade. But before we go into what happened to him, I know the question is there for some of you. Why is Creed such a damned meme? Well, buckle up, Buttercup. Time to learn you something.
What's in your wallet?
Blade! On the tabletop for a good long while, Creed was the sole owner of the ability called Tactical Genius. These examples are ridiculous but entirely accurate as to how Tactical Genius worked. When Creed was used, the player could specify a unit and grant it the Scout rule, which meant it could just appear on the edge of battle and engage the enemy. Where it turned into a pure fucking meme was the fact that the rule was just so vague it could be applied to any unit Creed could command in his army. Any unit! Baneblades the size of buildings, titans hundreds of feet tall, could simply walk onto the battlefield. So the memes of Creed hiding a formation of Baneblades in a potted plant appeared, and by game rules, it was legit as long as it was close to the edge of the map. Anyhow, now that you know where the Creed meme came from, onto the 13th Black Crusade. Abaddon got granted the reset button because GW couldn't be fucked with to actually make him a legitimate threat to begin with. At this point, Creed had been Lord Castellan of Cadia for less than a year. This genetic abnormality of a human being held off Abaddon for so long that eventually Abaddon just said, fuck it! In all due likelihood, he got tired of trying to take a piss and having to duck a kick from a Warhound Titan that had just stepped from behind a cat turd. In a final act of pure nerd rage, Abaddon shrieked Creed for the final time and threw a black stone fortress onto the surface of Cadia while flailing his arms and stomping his feet. Right at the point Creed was about to Snapchat Abaddon and tell him the only person to scream Creed's name like that had been Abaddon's mother, the fortress struck. Abaddon pulled an Al Gore and thought everyone would assume he was awesome, and Cadia began to fall apart.
Everyone is super stoked on me, even if they don't know it.
When Cadia unraveled, Abaddon spent the next 3 weeks trying to convince everyone that what he'd done was on purpose, but meanwhile Creed had vanished. Or had he? At some point, you delightful bastards, I'm gonna have to tell you about Trazyn the Infinite. Somewhere on the Tomb World of Solemnus, there is a single exhibit which is called The Last Stand of Ursarkar Creed. And in that exhibit, this Mr. Potato Head lookalike stands in his final splendor. And I guarantee you, if you press a button on the side of the exhibit, there's gonna be a little speaker that plays out Abaddon yelling,